Start. In the instant case, comma, as the facts would indicate that the suit for partition was instituted on 22/6/2009. Stop. The plaintiff appellants herein, comma, the stranger purchaser had purchased the share by means of registered sale deed dated 22/7/2008 and in paragraph 4, 5 and 6 clearly pleaded their right having 3/4 share while stating that the defendant respondent had 1/4 share and that their 3/4 share be separated. Stop. They had valued their share at rupees 9 lakh for the purposes of payment of court fee. Para. The defendant filed his written statement on 12/11/2009 and did not deny the fact that the plaintiffs had purchased 3/4 share and that the defendant had 1/4 share, as shall be evident from paragraphs 25 and 26 of the written statement. Stop. The defendant in paragraph 20 had clearly made an averment that he undertakes to purchase the shares of the plaintiffs. Stop. Moreover, comma, in the counter claim in paragraphs 32 and 33, comma, he sought a decree of mandatory injunction requiring the plaintiffs to sell their share in furtherance of section 4 of the Partition Act. Stop. The defendant had also made a separate application bearing paper number C17 dated 8/12/2019 wherein he specifically required the court to pass the orders regarding purchasing the share of the plaintiffs. Para. In the aforesaid backdrop of facts as narrated herein above, there was no dispute between the parties regarding the extent of share in the disputed property. Stop. In the said circumstances, comma, the only relevant issue before the trial court was whether, in terms of section 4, comma, the defendant respondent was entitled to purchase the share of the stranger purchaser and if so, its valuation and what terms. Para. The record indicates that the respondent herein had also filed regular suit number 4 of 2007 wherein he had challenged a gift deed of 1931. Stop. Admittedly, in the aforesaid suit, comma, Kripa Shankar Shukla was impleaded as defendant number 4 and the gift deed in favor of Dr. Shukla of 1931 was under challenge. Stop. It is also an admitted fact that Dr. Shukla expired and his legal heirs were not brought on record. Stop. Thus, comma, by operation of law, comma, the suit against Dr. Shukla abated. Para. The only controversy left was regarding the mode and valuation of the share of the appellants and the respondent herein. Stop. An effort was made by the appellants herein, comma, by bringing on record of the trial court the valuation report of the property in question from a valuer dated 4/9/2014, but the said valuation report was not proved in accordance with law as the values was not examined before the trial court. Para. The trial court upheld the shares of the parties but declined to grant the benefit of section 4 to the respondents herein on the premise that in the suit instituted by him bearing number 4 of 2007, comma, he had not made any offer to Sri Nigam. Hence, comma, he was not entitled to the benefit of section 4. Stop. These findings were reversed by the first appellate court and it held that the respondent was entitled to purchase the share of the appellants for a sum of rupees 9 lakhs. Para. This court, in the light of the discussion made in the preceding paragraphs, finds that actually in terms of section 4, the duty is cast upon the court to determine the valuation of the share of the stranger purchaser. Stop. Admittedly, comma, the same has not been done by either the trial court or the lower appellate court. Stop. The lower appellate court has merely taken the valuation as given by the appellants in their plaint, and the value of the sale deed as the price upon which the appellants have been directed to sell the share to the respondents. There has been no determination regarding the valuation of the share. Para. At this stage, it will be relevant to notice that the valuation as disclosed in the sale deed is for calculation of the stamp duty in accordance with the Stamp Act and the UP stamp rules framed thereunder. Stop. They are for the limited purpose of ascertaining the stamp duty on an instrument to protect the revenue of the government. Stop. The market value as determined in terms of the Stamp Act is for the purposes of payment of stamp duty only. Para. Even the valuation of the plaint is for the limited purpose of ascertaining the court fee in terms of the Court Fee Act, 1870. Stop. However, whenever an issue regarding valuation arises, the same has to be decided by the court after permitting the parties to lead evidence in respect of their contention. Para. However, the share of the appellant which is required to be valued and ascertained in terms of Section 4 of the Partition Act is to be done in such a manner as the court may think fit. Stop. Section 4 of the Partition Act does not use the word market value. Stop. Thus, while determining the valuation, it is the duty incumbent upon the court to ensure that the valuation upon which the stranger purchaser is compelled to sell his share is not undervalued in the sense that the stranger purchaser is not penalized. So also the co-sharer who is exercising his rights to purchase the share of the stranger purchaser should not make a windfall. Stop. It is in the aforesaid context that the court has to be extremely cautious in determining the value and also adopting a reasonable and well accepted mode balancing the equities and rights of the respective parties. Para. The whole idea regarding the valuation being that the share must be valued as far as possible as at such price which can be fairly fetched in the free market without being influenced by any distressing circumstances which may suppress the value of the property in question. Stop. It is also to be seen that no artificial escalation is to be factored to give undue advantage to stranger purchaser, nor any suppression of value is to be countered to the advantage of the co-sharer intending to buy, as in any case the sale under Section 4 of the Partition Act is under compulsion of a court decree, and for that reason it should be artificially undervalued to deprive the stranger purchaser of fair valuation of his share.